In the sun-scorched streets of 1970s California, where the rumble of Harley-Davidsons was a war cry, one name struck terror like a sledgehammer through a glass jaw. Armond Bletcher. Standing 6 feet 8 inches tall and weighing a monstrous 350 pounds, this Hell's Angels enforcer was a force of nature, a one-man apocalypse with a rap sheet boasting over 50 violent incidents. Known as Big Armond, he wasn't just a biker, he was a legend, his life a high-octane saga of brutality, loyalty, and a tragic end that still reverberates through the annals of outlaw lore. Strap in as we tear through the wild, untamed story of a man who lived by the code of the road and died in a blaze of controversy. From bullied boy to unstoppable behemoth, Armond Bletcher was born on November 14, 1942, in Alameda County, California, a land of palm trees and promise that belied the challenges of his youth. His father, Edward E. Bletcher, was a decorated U.S. Navy veteran, a hero of World War II, Korea, and Vietnam, whose tales of valor and iron discipline shaped Armond's worldview. Edward's life was a testament to resilience, and he passed that fire to his son, urging him to stand tall in a world that often tried to cut him down. But standing tall wasn't easy for young Armond. At 6 feet 8 inches, he was a giant among boys, his size a magnet for cruel taunts and relentless bullying. Each jeer, each shove, carved a scar on his psyche, fueling a hunger for transformation. Armond refused to remain a victim. In his teens, he discovered weightlifting, pouring his rage into iron plates and barbells. Whispers of steroid use followed, and whether true or not, the results were undeniable. The gangly, mocked boy morphed into a colossus, his muscles bulging, his presence commanding. Bullies who once tormented him now cowered as he confronted them with fists like wrecking balls. By his 20s, Armond's raw power drew the attention of darker circles. He ran with the mafia, his towering frame a natural fit for their world of intimidation. In a surreal twist, he served as a bodyguard for Frank Sinatra, the crooner's velvet voice backed by Bletcher's ironclad menace. Armond's mere presence was a warning. Cross him, and you'd regret it. Yet, beneath the hardened exterior, family remained his anchor. Edward's lessons of loyalty and strength were Armond's North Star, guiding him even as he ventured into the shadows. The memory of his father, laid to rest at Belmont Memorial Park in Fresno, lingered like a sacred vow. Armond's early life was a crucible, forging a man who was equal parts protector and predator, a paradox shaped by love and rage. Riding into infamy with the Hell's Angels, Armond Bletcher's path to the Hell's Angels Motorcycle Club was a natural descent into a world that matched his ferocity. Founded in 1948, the Hell's Angels were the epitome of rebellion, their leather vests and roaring bikes a defiant middle finger to society's norms. They were more than a club, they were a brotherhood, a lifestyle immortalized in gritty films, hard-hitting books, and infamous moments like the 1969 Altamont Festival, where a stabbing death under their watch cemented their notoriety. The Angels were a cultural juggernaut, embroiled in legal battles over trademark infringements and celebrated in the pages of Easy Rider magazine. For Armond, they were home. Joining the Angels, Bletcher found a tribe that valued his loyalty and fearlessness. He rose quickly, becoming an enforcer whose name alone could silence a room. His exploits became the stuff of biker legend. In one tale, a rival gang member swung a baseball bat at him, aiming to crack his skull. Armond barely blinked, his steroid-fueled frame absorbing the blows like a tank shrugging off pebbles. His retaliation was swift and devastating, leaving his attacker broken and the story etched into Hell's Angels folklore. His peers dubbed him Big Armond, a nod to both his size and the chaos he wielded. Bletcher's loyalty shone brightest in moments of crisis. When several members of the Laval chapter were murdered, he stepped into the fire, delivering crucial testimony in the trial that brought the killers to justice. His bravery wasn't just physical, it was a commitment to the brotherhood, a willingness to face danger for the club he called family. In the Hell's Angels world of chrome, leather, and blood, Armond Bletcher was a titan, revered and feared in equal measure. Reign of terror in Fresno. By the 1970s, Fresno, California was Big Armond's battleground, a city trembling under his shadow. His criminal record was a grim ledger of violence, assaults, bar brawls, and whispered ties to the drug trade. At a dive bar called The Circle, he allegedly shot a man dead, claiming self-defense. The courts bought it, but the incident only fueled his mythos. The Fresno Bee painted a darker picture, alleging Bletcher was a paid enforcer for local drug lords, a specter the FBI chased for racketeering but could never pin down. His ties to the mafia and friendship with Hells Angels president Sonny Barger were a shield, keeping law enforcement at bay. His connections to Easy Rider magazine's staff only burnished his outlaw allure, making him a folk hero to the biker crowd. One story stands out in the legend of Big Armond. A rival gang member, bold or foolish, challenged him with a baseball bat. The blows rained down, but Bletcher stood like a mountain, his massive frame unmoved. Then, with a roar, he struck back, his fists shattering bones and egos alike. Witnesses spoke of his near-inhuman resilience, a man who seemed impervious to pain. Extortion, drug trafficking, and raw violence were his tools, and he wielded them with terrifying precision. He moved illicit substances through his Hells Angels and mafia connections, extorting money and fear from anyone who crossed his path. Yet, to the motorcycle faithful, he was a god, embodying the untamed spirit of the open road. Law enforcement's efforts to cage him were futile. The loyalty of his associates, bound by fear and respect, formed an impenetrable wall. Bletcher lived the biker life to its fullest, a rebel king in a world of outcasts, his name synonymous with power and dread. A tragic, bloody end. Armond Bletcher's life was a high-speed ride toward an inevitable crash. On November 25, 1975, the Titan met his end in a Fresno tire shop, gunned down by his cousins, the Pachian brothers. They claimed self-defense, painting Armond as a raging beast who left them no choice. Whispers of roid rage swirled, his alleged steroid use blamed for bouts of uncontrollable fury. The Fresno rumor mill churned with tales of his role as a drug gang enforcer, and the FBI's racketeering probe loomed large, though no charges ever stuck. The trial of the Pachian brothers was a media frenzy, exposing the volatile, dangerous world Bletcher inhabited. His death was as dramatic as his life. Murder charges hung over the brothers, but the controversy only deepened Bletcher's legend. He was a man who lived on the edge, and his fall was a thunderous echo of that life. His daughters, Lori, Shelley, Shailene, and his twin sister Sharon kept his memory alive, their DNA a living link to the Colossus. Armond Bletcher's story is a testament to the dark allure of the outlaw lifestyle, a saga of loyalty, violence, and rebellion that continues to captivate. The enduring legend. What drove Armond Bletcher to such extremes? Was it the scars of a bullied childhood, the call of the open road, or the intoxicating rush of power? His transformation from victim to victor was a rebellion against a world that tried to break him. But it led him down a path of destruction. The Hells Angels, with their defiant ethos and cultural grip, reflect our fascination with those who reject society's chains. Bletcher's life, equal parts heroic and horrific, forces us to question the line between freedom and chaos. What do you think fueled Big Armond's fire? How do notorious biker gangs like the Hells Angels shape our view of rebellion and community? Drop your thoughts below and dive into our other stories for more tales of the world's most infamous figures. Like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell to ride along with us. Until next time, keep the rubber side down and the legend alive.